Interesting topics, engaging conversations, inspiring messages, making a difference. It's life, health, family, marriage, divorce, and so much more. Heart of a Woman.
Hi, welcome once more to Heart of a Woman. I am Shorn Des Vignes Daniel, the host for this program. On set this afternoon, we're jumping straight into it, is a mother, a minister, a mighty woman of God, my dear sister, Dolly Gree. Welcome to Heart of a Woman.
Thanks for having me, Sister Shorn.
Yes, and I've been asking you for a long time to, just come on the program and share with us, because I know as a woman of God, you have so much experience, and I just wanted you to encourage, because this is what the program is about, encouraging and inspiring and motivating other women. Yeah. So, Sister Gree, as I always call you, and you said people call you Sister what?
Dolly.
Sister Dolly.
Yes.
So I'm sure people in your neighborhood know you as Sister Dolly. So, Sister, I will call you Sister Gree.
Yes.
Sister Gree, first of all, I want to say this. I know you as a woman very fashionable.
Thank you, my dear.
Always well put together. I think I look forward to seeing you coming to church on a Sunday morning. Everything on point. And it's never the same.
Yes,
it's
my
always
dear.
a different look. Do you always like this?
Yes, my dear. As a child, I always like, to look nice. I remember as a little girl, I used to put on my mother's shoes and I go in front of the mirror and that kind of thing, and so on. So that was always in me.
Yes.
That, that fashion,
Yes.
to look nice. I
Of
always liked that
course.
kind of a, look.
Yeah, well, you're a fashionista. You're a fashionista for Jesus.
Yeah, of course.
Amen.
And as a child of God, you must always look nice, because we are kingdom people. Whereas, and I believe when you are in the kingdom, you must look nice.
Definitely.
And I believe in that.
Yes, because you're representing
Exactly.
Yeah,
the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords.
Amen. So, Sister Gree, how long have you been saved? I mean, that's a question I always like to ask,
Well, I went to Trinidad at an early age, and I got saved at the age of 15. There was a missionary from Jamaica. I can't remember his first name, but I remember his name by Brother Matthews. Came to Trinidad as a missionary, came to my aunt's home and witnessed to us about the love of God. And he was a true Christian, a young man, but he was really in love with the Lord. And he came and witnessed to us, my aunt and my cousin, and we accepted Christ in Trinidad under Brother Matthews.
And you were at what age?
At that, I was 15 years, because I left school at an early age.
Yes.
When I was 13 and a half years, I left school. And then I went to Trinidad, and there I met and accepted Jesus Christ.
Right. So, as we were saying in previous programs, we were talking about how the topic, or the theme, I should say, for most of this season, we're talking about when destiny calls. And definitely, you are a woman of destiny. You're one of the women that I admire. You have such a quietness, but there's a strength about you. And that strength we know only comes from God. So you're a young girl, you got saved. Did you backslide?
Yes, I did. Because when I left Trinidad and I came to Tobago, there was nobody knew what Pentecost was.
Oh.
So that was something for me. So when I was telling my father and my sisters about Pentecost, that was something strange. So there I was, and I didn't know what to do, and that kind of a thing and stuff. Then I went back,
Yes.
But that desire was in me to serve the Lord.
So definitely we're seeing it's not about a religion.
No.
But it's about relationship.
Exactly, my sister.
Yes,
but it was always in me to serve the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then you came back what, in your 20s?
Well, during that time, I met my husband, right? And we became friends, just, young people talking and stuff like that and so on. And then I went back to the Lord at the age of I was 28, around that time. I went back because I had my kids. I had 3 children during that time and so on. And then I went back, I came back to Jesus at the age of about 28 years.
Right.
I had 3 children and stuff, and I was married and that kind of thing. So there, even though I was married and I had it when my heart desire was, with the Lord, I never stopped praying. I never stopped thinking about Jesus. He was always in my heart.
Yes.
I never give up on the Lord.
Yes, and I love that. And again, I would say that proves that it's not religion.
No, it's relationship. Yes, it was in my heart.
So definitely when you encountered Jesus Christ,
Exactly.
you fell in love with him.
Exactly.
So basically he is your first love.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that is something that as believers we need to understand. It's not about a religion, and it's not about going to church on a Sunday. It's about having that relationship.
Yes.
And if you're talking relationship, we're talking about somebody that you're communicating with on a regular, every minute, every second of the day, knowing the person's heart.
Exactly. And
yeah.
even though when I went to work, and that I always, try to instill that love for God, even with my friends. And they knew the type of person I was, because I never, even though I was out there, that thing that, always you have that tug.
Yes.
Something isn't right, you're not satisfied, you try to get satisfaction, but something when I had that desire. And then I remember I met a co-worker, Sister Alexis, Diane Alexis, and they got saved and stuff, and my husband and her husband were friends. So it was kind of easy to go back to the Lord,
Yes.
And there I went back, and I have never left the Lord from since that time.
Amen. Amen.
It's
so
always
you
nice.
having your children and you came back to the Lord. What was home life like? How did you raise your children?
Well, I always tell people that my children, they were contented children. What little we have, we make do. Even though, at that time I did not go back to the Lord as yet, but my husband, he had the garden, he had the chickens, we have the goats, we had the
Yes.
we had the sheep and stuff. So home life was not that difficult, When I say as a wife and as a mother, and we used to have family devotion, even
Yes.
though I wasn't going back to church, but we meet and we will pray and read the word and that kind of thing. And when I went back to the Lord, it was easy,
Yes.
and
Yes.
stuff. So I never had a problem bringing up the children. And as a mother, I always, as a woman, I love plenty children.
You love plenty
Love
children?
plenty. I always
So
tell
at,
my husband.
At this point, I would ask you how many
Yes,
children
I
you
had
have.
7 children,
Wow.
but I didn't mind having more because my husband used to help me a lot.
Right.
When I make the babies and the stuff, when I come home, he will help me at night. It was no problem because I used to work and he used to work, but he used to help me. So I didn't have a problem with the kids.
Yes. That's very, that's something you don't hear today, that women saying, I love plenty children. I want plenty
You know
children.
why? Because my mother died and leave us small, and it was
Right.
kind of lonely life. So I always tell myself, when I get married, I want to have plenty children.
So when you're thinking about plenty children, a lot of children, the number?
I didn't have
Were you
I
thinking
didn't
of
have a number. I didn't
So
mind
if you had
making them,
13?
I didn't mind, because if I tell you, even though I had 7 children, my sister, she would send her kids, and I will, I just like to see the house full of children. That was me. I used to feel nice and see the children running about. And let me tell you, where I used to live, we were the only house at the time in the street. So there was the guava tree, the mango trees, and the children used to be running, and the birds and the butterfly, and I sometimes used to sit and just look at them having a good time,
Yes,
and so
yes,
on. And
yeah.
my children, were obedient children, because if I tell them to do something, they would do it. And I mean to say, I don't know, if the way how I grew them up, they had was to conform,
Yes, yes, of course.
and stuff. But children are children, they will give a little trouble here and there, but no major trouble as children.
Yes.
No, I didn't have that.
And you said you were working. So let's talk about how did you balance that? How did you balance working and taking care of the children?
Well, my sister, if I tell you, as I get older, sometimes I sit down and think. 4 o'clock, I will get up. Every morning at 4, I'm up to prepare the lunch and stuff like that. And sometimes as I get older, I say, but I could have prepped some of the things I put and beforehand, but I never think about it, and became a part of me. And even though I remember leaving Tobago and going to Trinidad at my aunt to stay, when 4 o'clock I will get up, because that was my time, and I will get up. And let me tell you, I did love the kitchen. I love to cook and bake and that kind of thing.
Girl, you truly Proverbs,
Right.
the Proverbs woman.
I did love it.
Yes.
I only know as I get older and children take over, and so, well, I leave it to them. But I tell you, I did love to cook and prepare and stuff like that. And my husband, he could have cooked too and stuff, because when I make the babies and so, he used to make a fish broth. And I remember at the hospital, there was a lady, she used to say, you have a lovely, you have a nice low side husband. Look how you bring your fish broth, and as soon as I get the babies, I get in the fish, the special broth.
Yeah. So how old the children are in age?
Well, I space them with the exception of 2 every 3 years, and I never use anything. Every 3 years I get, I
so
get
no
one.
birth control.
No birth control, but with the exception of one, I think 2 years apart. But other than that, it was just normal for me.
How many boys do you
I
have?
had 4 boys and 3 girls.
4 boys and 3 girls.
Yes.
And you wanted more?
It didn't, you see now, it looked, kind of difficult now, but at that time, you have the goat milk and the children growing up and that and everything and stuff like that. But there were hard times too in between, but you live to cope with the hard times, and that is what makes life, interesting.
Yes, and you love being a mother.
Yes, I did love it.
And you love taking care of your family.
Exactly.
Family was important to you. Yes, family was important.
Yes.
And that's such a beautiful lesson for women today, because, it seems as if we have life easier. Yes, but you still have a lot of women. I only want 1 child, or I don't want any children. Family life is too difficult for me. You're hearing that, and I think, everybody has to make a choice. But it seems to be missing out. And when I hear you talk about the children and how you love to see them play, that's why I admire you so much. And the grace of God and the peace of God is on you. You can see it. 7 children.
Yes.
Sister Gray, we're taking a quick break. Guys, we'll be right back.
Heart of a Woman